Hey folks, Klutch here, and Farmcon 21 has come and gone. We've got a ton of new information all about Farming Simulator 22. A lot of it's really cool, to be honest, but there's a lot of it as well that's got me scratching my head. I think we should talk about it. Let's get to work. Pitter patter. Now I try to come up with a number. Should it be 5? I don't know. We'll see how when we get through this. I'm going to start going off on some stuff. I don't know what we're going to be at, to be honest, by the end of it, but we'll see where we get to, because there's a lot of positives still. But there's also, like I said, a few things that maybe aren't so positive, or maybe aren't quite where we want them to be. Let's go with that. So how about 5 things we loved and hated about Farmcon? Does that work? Sure, let's go. So guys, if you follow me at all, you know that I do enjoy my global companies. Global companies is cool. Global companies is a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it in Farming Simulator. Now, production lines or production chains, well, they're basically a takeoff of global companies. Now, this seems to be the main focus for Farming Simulator 22. This is the main path, the main new feature, at least that we've been told so far. And I have no reason to believe that this is not it, but this seems to be, to me, this here is the main feature for Farm Sim 22. Global companies? No, it's production chains. Now, I really do think that this is going to be a cool addition to Farming Simulator. I think having this base game, having it available to every platform, and the stuff that modders are going to be able to come up with, I think it's really going to change a lot of how Farming Simulator is played. I think it's going to be very cool. I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. But yes, there's a but. Production chains does not feel like it should be the main focus of a Farming Simulator series. It's something cool to build on. It's something cool that we have extra, because it's going to allow you to change and play a totally different style of game. However, when it comes to Farming Simulator, it feels like it's an add-on extra, and it shouldn't be the main focus. So what do I think we should have spent time on? What would be my choice of feature that I would like to see? Well, I think if I had my choice, I would like to see deformable terrain. I think that would make the biggest change. Being able to get stuck into fields, rut out fields, cause damage to roads and fields if you're driving on them in the wrong time of day or year because of rain, snow, whatever you might run into. That seems like real life farming. I know for a fact that that is a huge part of dealing with farming. World production chains, yes, you can kind of go in that direction with things. Don't get me wrong, I think it's very cool, like I said, but I think there's other avenues of farming we should be pushing down instead. And for me personally, deformable terrain with mud, something SnowRunner-esque would have been a bigger sale for me than the way we've gone so far. Ugh, I hope that wasn't too harsh. I felt too harsh. I hope it wasn't too harsh. Okay, next thing I'm excited for though. Surprisingly, new crops. Guys, I don't know what to say about this. This was so low on my radar about a month ago that I can't believe we're actually talking about this. I'm actually really excited about the grapes. I'm excited about the olives. Sorghum, that's cool, but the grapes and olives I'm actually more excited about for 2 different reasons. Number 1, the new equipment. The new equipment we get with this stuff looks really cool and different to use. And it doesn't seem like you need to focus your whole farm on this, even though you probably may or may not, I don't know. But having this different type of equipment from these small little tractors that fit down the windrows, guys, I'm really excited to use some of this stuff, and this was not even on my radar, I don't know, a month ago. Secondly, the way you put out the grapes, the vines for olives and grapes, I think that looks very cool. It's the build tool being used to build this how you want to build it. And that looks fantastic, and I think that might be part of it as well. So between that and the new equipment, it's kind of sold me on these new crops, and I'm excited to try them both. Sorghum as well too. Okay, and let's move on to something that I wasn't exactly thrilled about. Of the UI again. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks okay. I've seen some comments that don't really appreciate the blue look to the HUD and to the menu system. I'm okay with it. It's all right. It's tolerable. I was hoping for a rework personally. I know I've talked about this in several videos. I was hoping for an experience that didn't take you out of your farm. So either it be a cell phone or you have to go to a laptop to order anything. some way of not having to just hit a menu button and have your whole screen taken up with a menu. I personally was hoping for that. Number three, the new build mode. The new build mode, specifically the fences. Oh man. All right, this might be the thing I'm excited most about, is the new way the fences work. I was blown away. The demo blew me away on being able to drag and drop fences. It seems so simple. It does seem so simple. It's why haven't we done this before? But farming simulator with drag and drop fences looks amazing. How many other things can we do? Were the hedges done that way as well? Didn't really talk about that, but if you could do with hedges, what other things can we do where we drag and drop? I mean, we know the vines are. That is a fantastic. I can't wait to mess with this. It's gonna be so much fun. There's so many other things I could make this do that we're probably going to break farm sim once again, but this looks like such a cool idea. It looks great. It seems to work perfectly. You can add gates into your middle of your fence. Now, they've also talked a little bit about something else, which kind of makes me concerned. So this is going to bring up my kind of worried side. Actually, there's two things with the build mode. Number one, I didn't see an undo button. That was something that we talked a lot about. Now, it sounds like it's not as simple as we would all think to put an undo button into a landscaping tool, for instance, but it seems like that was one of the more requested features of terraforming, of the whole tool, is to have an undo button, because when you mess up once, it is such a pain to try to fix things. Secondly, on things I'm worried about here, the fields. They did mention you can make pastures with your fence lines and move horses. They said specifically horses from pasture over to another pasture. It sounds like it was by the fence lines that they made. It was a pasture they made. Can we do that with any other animals? All right, we're gonna move on to something that wasn't even discussed at Farmcon. This wasn't even talked about, and this was arguably one of the biggest things, at least for North America. We have Mack trucks in Farm Sim 22 now. We have Mack trucks, licensed Mack trucks in Farm Sim 22 in base game, not a mod, in base game. This is awesome news. I don't know what to think about this as far as anything else goes. Why wasn't this talked about at Farmcon? Why was this not brought up? Why did nothing be said about any of this? Are we going to see any more information on any other trucks? What about Peterbilt? What about Kenworth? I'm just saying there's a lot more trucks out there, of course. Mack, yes, I'm fantastic, love it. I'm kind of surprised to be by it, to be honest with you. Maybe they were easier to get licensing for, but Kenworth, Peterbilt tend to be bigger brands. So I am still really interested to see more information on this. In fact, we didn't really hear much about any other brands either at Farmcon. We heard a couple things were silos, obviously the animal pens, but that's about it. There's no real brand names of tractors or equipment that was really mentioned other than that. So other than what we already know we have for sure that's been in previous Farm Sim series, where do we stand with trucks, Giants? Come on, you can tell us just a little bit more, right? Please? And since we're talking about trucks, I need to say something quickly about this. The sounds, once again, I didn't think too much about sounds when it came to Farm Sim 22. I know there was some talk about it. In fact, I've heard some of their Giants reps make a little bit more of a big deal about this, and I kind of brushed it off. The sounds were actually very nicely done. I was pretty impressed with it. The sounds of the metal piston, the hydraulic pistons closing and opening sounded fantastic. Really looking forward to hearing that a whole bunch more. That was very cool. Also, transmission sounds under load sounding different from when coasting. Hearing the transmission sound versus the engine sound, so cool. Love it. Great. And then we also have manual transmissions. I think we're on number 6 now for pros, aren't we? Anyways, I digress. The engine sounds, transmission sounds, manual shifting, that also seems so cool. The manual shifting, I'm really interested to see where we go with that, having that as a feature for base game. It was odd to me that they didn't want to use it in the demo and they were using automatic transmissions. Felt a little bit strange to me. I think that didn't make much sense. They should have used the manual transmission to show it off a little bit to see how it works. So once again, that kind of teeters on the positive, maybe negative side of things. At least that's something that's turn-offable. However, there was one thing they talked about but didn't talk about, and that is the helper AI system. They said it's better. They talked it up, and then didn't show anything about it. There's even something in the menu system that talks a little bit about, well, the AI system. What does that mean? What are we looking at? What are our options here? What can it be? Is there just a menu system that tells you what your helpers are doing? Or is there something else that we don't know about yet? Do you hire helpers and maybe they level up? There's a whole menu system in there that they didn't show us. I don't know what to think of this yet. I'm a little nervous, but excited to see where it goes. So there you go, folks. Those are my thoughts on Farmcon 21. The things I loved, the things I hated, the things I just don't know yet. Things we don't even know about yet. Those are my thoughts. Once again, I hope I didn't come off too harsh. Giants, I'm sorry if I came off too harsh. No intention. Just put my thoughts out there. Take them for what they're worth. Of course, folks, if you don't agree with me, drop it down in the comments. If there's something you do agree with me with, give me a thumbs up down below there as well. Love to hear back from you. Where do you guys think where we're going with Farm Sim 22? Am I right about this stuff? Am I totally off base? I get it. It's okay. You guys can roast me down there below. Let me know what you guys think. Would love to hear back from you. Other than that, folks, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more Farm Sim 22 content. Of course, Farm Sim 19 live streams and mods reviews and everything else we do here for that. Make sure you guys go subscribe for that. Drop a like on the way out. And folks, I'm going to catch you next time. Have a great day. This is Klutch. Over and out.